I've got one question to ask you. Scholes, Xavi, Iniesta.
Wow, that's a very tough question. When I arrived at Manchester United, the style of play was different, and for me to adapt to that, players were very strong, very quick. Was not easy, but it was very important for my career because then I learned another side of football that I didn't learn in La Masia. I complete myself much more as a player. Hey man, how are you?
Gerard, how are you, brother? Yeah,
How are you, man? Good?
You look good,
Yeah,
man.
you too.
You look like you're ready to still play. How are you been, man?
Very good, very
Yeah.
good. It's 1 year now that I'm not playing.
Yeah.
And really, I keep my fitness well. I mean, everything good.
You're still kicking ball and stuff, yeah?
A little bit, but just
Yeah.
a little.
So
I need
talk to me.
disconnect a little bit.
Like, how is it though? You know, retirement, with everything you've won in the game, like how do you stay motivated even though you're not still playing?
Well, you have to find some motivation somehow. And I knew that it was difficult to retire, and the next month after retiring, because a lot of former teammates that I had in my team told me that it's difficult to change your routine after 20 years.
Yeah.
And the fact that we created Kings League is a big motivation for me to wake up every morning and to have the desire of doing something that, that has an impact, that people love to watch, and that there is a lot of people that is following the competition.
Is that like competitive nature still in you? Is that like something that you don't lose?
I think that this is something that you have or you don't have. And normally people that had to compete during 15, 20 years in front of thousands of people in big stadiums, I think that you need to have it in order to succeed. That's the case, and yeah, I love to compete for everything. So now it's Kings League. Before it was to win games.
Yeah.
Let's see in the future.
So I haven't actually seen inside, yeah, because I wanted to wait until like, what can I expect?
Well, it's high-level production. It's a competition 7 versus 7 in an indoor venue that you will see now.
Yeah.
12 teams, private league. The owners are creators of content.
Yeah.
10 creators of content, and then there is 2 owners that are legends of the game, which is Iker Casillas,
like yourself,
and Kun Agüero.
Ooh.
I'm the president of the league, so I'm a little bit like Javier Tebas here in Spain.
No, this is a joke. Well, first and foremost, well done. Well done. Wow. So how different is this to like a game day?
I mean, it's pretty different because it's an event that it's from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So it's 6 hours. There is 6 games. It's 12 teams. So there is 6 games on Sunday.
Yeah.
And every game is 1 hour, more or less. It's 20 minutes each half, but between halftime, etc., it's 1 hour. And we are there. I'm there. This is the president's box, and I'm there watching the whole 6 hours.
Yeah.
And we have a crowd. It's 200 people. We didn't find something bigger. It's very difficult to find a venue that you can use it the whole year for this. So at the end of the day, we end here. But it's a product that is 100% focused on Twitch, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitch. So basically what people can watch on television more than what's happening here in real time.
I want to scale back though. I want you to follow me as well to like the beginning of your whole journey. Because in order for you to actually showcase something like this, you had to go through probably the best youth system in football history, La Masia. Now, what are the key elements that you learned that you're trying to bring into Kings League when you was growing up? Because you've always been a player that just knows what he's doing. You know, I spoke to Danny Simpson and he said when he grew up with you, he said you could do everything. He said he knew that there was levels to the way you played. What is it that you learned that's different?
Well, I think that in La Masia, I learned everything, not just what's happening on the pitch, but also out of the pitch. They really help you to grow as a human being. And the fact that they know exactly how they want to play. In Barcelona, in the youth academy, they show you really the long pass, short pass, keep the ball, maintain the possession all the time, be at the other half of the pitch so you can control the game. All of this they show you when you are very young. And this you can see on Iniesta, on Xavi, on Busquets, all the young players from the academy that went through the young system of Barcelona. And they teach you every day that, and that helps you during your career, but after your career also, that at the end of the day, football is a show, and that it's part of the game. I mean, people have to enjoy what he's watching. And I think that Kings League is part of it. I mean, it's the style of play, it's what's happening, it's that every minute is happening something. And the young generation, they are really engaged on the competition. They are following absolutely everything. And I think that this is great for the competition and for this new format of 7 versus 7, that it's very exciting.
What were some players that when you saw them play in La Masia, you thought, wow, this is a level that I need to get up to? Because you did pretty well for yourself. I mean, you've won everything. But who are some of the players that you was like, this player is destined for greatness?
Well, I had the luck to be, I think, in the best generation of football players that La Masia had, which is the generation of '87, the players that were born in 1987. In that generation, we had Leo Messi, Cesc Fabregas, myself, and then a bunch of players that they succeed in Spain, in first division in Spain. But in terms of quality, I think it's the biggest one that La Masia had. We won everything during I don't know how many years. We didn't lose a game. And the fact that we train every day ones versus the others, that challenge to compete really against Messi, against Cesc Fabregas, to defend them every day on training, that was even better and much better for me than playing on Sunday and winning 10-0 or 12-0 against any team. And that really was the big challenge for me, and why I think that I succeed later on my career.
So you spoke about La Masia. How different was that for you? Obviously, you ended up playing for Manchester United at a very young age as well. And like I said, what Danny Simpson said, he said that the quality was completely different. But for you, how much of a culture shock was that? And was it easy for you to adapt to a different manager, a different setup and everything?
Well, the most difficult thing was to move, and to move alone, because I didn't bring my family or my friends to Manchester. I was 17 at that time, I was a kid. I remember my first year, I was living in a family that the club has in order to host players that were under 18. And for me, it was a big shock culturally, because the food is different, the weather is different. People is different in a way, and you have to adapt, and the language and everything. And then related to football also, the style of football is different. The Premier League teams and English teams, it's all about being very direct, everything very fast, very quick. And it's not so important to really control the game, pass the ball. This is what I learned in La Masia. Now with Pep Guardiola in City, etc., this has developed, and now they want to play that style of game. But at that time, we're talking 2004 when I arrived at Manchester United. The style of play was different, and for me to adapt to that, players were very strong, very quick. Was not easy, but it was very important for my career, because then I learned another side of football that I didn't learn in La Masia, and that I think that I complete myself much more as a player.
Yeah. Who is like some of the players that you kind of looked at and was like, I kind of like the way this player is playing, or I need to maybe be close to this player in order for me to elevate my game like you said you did?
Yeah, at that time Rio was for me, and when I arrived at Manchester United, and the relationship that I developed with him helped me a lot in order to be a better football player. His style of play was very similar of what I wanted to be as a player, and that helped me to see a lot of things that he was doing while he was playing, to understand better the game and to be a better player. Another one was at that time Carles Puyol. He played for Barcelona. I had him as a teammate. I played alongside him in the defense of Barcelona for a few years. He was the captain. And I loved the way he understood the game in terms of intensity, in terms of leadership, and he helped me a lot also during my my career at Football Club Barcelona. But Rio and Puyol, I think both helped me a lot.
Well, you being a defender, and I say this to say that that's not your only good trait, but you was able to see the game differently. Essentially, this is where the game is controlled by. When you have the ball, I'll give you the ball here. What do you look for? Like, what's the main thing? And you had the option of playing with Iniesta, Xavi, and even played with Paul Scholes. These are conductors of the game. Did you look for them, or did you feel like, I want to come out and play?
Listen, I've never played here. I'm the president of the league, so I never played a game here, I can tell you. So this is a question maybe for the players that are playing every weekend.
Yeah.
But what I see from the stands is that here everything happens much more quicker. Then once you are at the half pitch, you can score, because a really good shoot, you can score a goal. So the position of the center back, I would say, is the most important one in this game, because you control everything defensively, but also you can help a lot in the attack. It's not as important as in Football 11, obviously, the long pass, because here everything is very short and the pass everything is very quick. And you have to have really a good shoot, like that you can attack from, 20 meters, 15 meters, 30 meters, because then every time that you have the ball, if you are aggressive and you go, you can score a lot of goals. Yeah.
I want to take it back to when you was playing. Yeah. What did you see that everyone else probably doesn't see? Because, like I said, in front of you, you had the best midfield play I've ever seen with Xavi, Busquets and Iniesta. But how easy was it for you to play? Say, for example, I don't know, Xavi's calling for the ball. Did you always pass to him, or would you look for another pass?
Well, it's very easy when you have these players in your team, because you know that you will pass the ball and they will take care of the rest. And at the end of the day, you have to focus on defense well. And then it's true that there was a point that our rivals, they knew what we wanted to do, and it was every time more difficult, because they really study us, how we played. So there was a moment where with the ball I had to really go with the ball until the marker of Xavi comes to me, and then it's 2 versus 1 and I have to go to Xavi, or if the marker goes with Xavi, I keep going with the ball. So at that time I remember that it was very risky, our job as a center back. But as I said, once I can find one of them in the midfield, or even Messi, that sometimes he was playing as a striker or as right wing, but then came in to play with the midfielders, I give the ball to them and I knew that they will not lose it, and that we will have a chance, or that we will control the ball for the next 2 minutes, because they had that capacity.
So you leave Manchester United, 2008, 2007, 2008 season, Champions League winners. You end up leaving as a champion, and then you end up going back to Barcelona. What was that move like for you? Did it feel like, finally I'm back home? Because it felt like you slotted straight back in there. I think you had like 45 appearances in that first season. What was that move like for you, going back home?
Well, I remember that obviously leaving Manchester United, I was sad because I had a very good time there.
Did you want to continue your career there, or was it?
When Barcelona came, for me it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But at that time I was happy in Manchester United. If Barcelona would not come, I would not leave Manchester United. But Barcelona came, and for me it was a dream. I was a fan since I was born. I was in the stadium every weekend when I was a kid. So for me, playing for Barca was no option. I had to go there. I talked to the gaffer, to Sir Alex Ferguson. He really helped me on doing that move. And as I said, I was sad, but at the same time, living with the Champions League and with the Premier League that we won that year. I think it was a great success. And then when I arrived at Barcelona, I was very lucky to win absolutely everything the first year. We won the 6 titles. That never happened, I think, in the history of football before. I think that those years were very important for my career, and it went very well.
Now, there's been conversations, obviously, about Pep Guardiola with what he's achieved at Man City, but he's been doing this for a long time. How important was he in your career? That's the first question. And what's the comparison between him and Sir Alex Ferguson in terms of, you probably have 2 of the greatest managers in world football that you have been managed by. Like, how can you compare that?
Well, I think that Sir Alex and Pep are both as you said, two of the biggest ones in the history of the game, but they are very different. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson at that time when I arrived, he was more like a manager of the whole club rather than just a coach. You know?
Yeah.
So there were some days that he wasn't even going to the trainings. He was staying in his office, controlling the whole club. Young players that were arriving, they need a home. I don't know, managing absolutely everything. Pep Guardiola, when I had him, he was starting his career, and he was a coach, and his role was different, but he was very special from the beginning. I mean, he can read absolutely every phase of the game. He knew and he dedicated a lot of time to really study the rivals, the teams that we were playing against, and really find solutions for every situation. And I think that this is key. Plus, he has a great speech, and in terms of motivation, he knows what he has to say in order to touch you and really go to the game like with a lot of motivation.
Is that the same type of coaching that you want to have here at Kings League? To have people that are going to take, because this is something that has just started, and who knows how big this could be. But is that the type of coaching that you want to have, or type of people that you want to have here in Kings League?
I mean, it's impossible right now to have the same level as.
But dreams, we can all dream.
Names that we're mentioning.
Yeah.
But what is true is that every year we want to be more professional.
Yes.
We want to be more pro. So I think that at the end of the day, what you are targeting is the objective in 3-5 years is to be able to generate a lot of money, so we can have salaries enough to try to convince these kind of people to come and join. I mean, Guardiola and Ferguson, it's another level, but that every year we improve in terms of the level of football that you can see here.
Yeah. So I'm not going to act like I know what this is. I saw it and I was like, I don't know what this is. So talk to me, Pique. What is this? Do you mind if I call you Pique? Do you want to call you Gerard?
Whatever you want.
Because I'm moving like you're my friend, like I've known you for years. But yeah, so what is this?
So no, we put the ball inside the box, and basically the box is up there, and the game starts like this. So all of a sudden there is a countdown, 10, 9, 8, 7, and when it's 1, there is players from both teams here, and the ball goes obviously from the box, and they start playing. So we don't start the game as the usual. I mean, we don't do anything as the usual.
That's what I wanted to touch on. Like the thought process of this, because I have seen a few games and it is incredible. It's like high octane. It doesn't stop. It's similar to like with basketball where they throw the ball in the air and it's like anarchy and stuff. Yeah. When you was thinking about the style of football that this was going to be, where did you get your inspiration from?
Well, from different sports, really, and we are doing a mix of everything. For example, in second half, we put the ball here, all the players in one line, and the other players in the other line, and it's a countdown. And when it's 0, they start to run, and there is a big fight here to try to get the ball. This is a little bit like water polo. You know water polo?
Yes.
So it's coming from that. Then there is another phase where the last 2 minutes of the first half, there is a dice, we throw the dice, it's a big dice, and if it's a 3, then the game becomes 3 versus 3 for 2 minutes, or if it's a 1, it's 1 versus 1. And this is like, I don't know, from American football, like last 2 minutes, like very important, So we are picking a little bit from different sports, and it's working, people love it.
What other players that you've played with or played against are, that you could find here playing as well?
Other players that were former teammates, you mean?
Yes, yeah.
Well, a lot. Here, this year, Ronaldinho came to play, Andrea Pirlo, Shevchenko, Chicharito, who else? A lot of players, they came to play, and really the level is very good. For these players that they have a lot of quality, it's difficult for them because the rhythm, it's like very hard, and it's very young players that they really want to succeed and have hunger in order to win, and they came here, and it's obviously difficult for them. Kun Agüero played because he's the president of one club. Iker Casillas played also. So the level is very, very good.
When are we going to see you play?
Let's see. I mean, keep it easy.
But you spoke about Iker Casillas, and that's a great player, a former player of an opposition team that you used to play against, La Liga, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Yeah. I spoke with your ex-teammate, Paul Scholes, and he mentioned that, the reason why England didn't win no big trophies was because there was a lot of egos, players from Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool, all staying away from each other. That Spanish team, I don't think I've seen an international team like it. How did you guys stay focused when it came to national team in comparison to when you was playing for your clubs?
Well, in 2010, when we won the World Cup in South Africa, it was quite easy because the relationship were very good between all of us. 2012, that we won the European Cup, it was much difficult because the relationship was worse. Mourinho started to coach Real Madrid at the time, and there was a lot of tension. And it's true that when we started the competition, I mean, we didn't have any relationship with Madrid players, but that was improving. And at the end of the day, we won the competition, and really we became again the team that we won the World Cup in 2010. So to have a good relationship is, as Paul Scholes says, it's very important. And if you don't have that dynamics where, even though you represent Real Madrid and I represent Barcelona in the league, then in the national team we have to go together. If that doesn't happen, then it's very difficult to really win titles.
Would you say that moment, because you've won a lot of trophies, if I stay here, we'll be here until it turns nighttime. But would you say that winning with the national team was much your biggest accomplishment, or the trophies that you've won with Barcelona? Because they're, I mean, arguably the same level, but national team, you know, being an integral part of that as well for the Euros and also the World Cup.
I mean, I think that in the world of football, you give more importance to what's happening with the national team, basically because it happens every 4 years. The World Cup happens every 4 years, European Cup every 4 years. So has more, I would say, more importance to really win those kind of trophies. But in my case, I mean, as I said, Barcelona was like my dream to play for that club. I always support them. And the fact to win the Champions League, the League and the Cup the first season I was there, for me was very emotional also and very important. So I can put it at the same level, I would say.
It was emotional for me, you know why?
Why?
What you guys did to us in Wembley. I'll never forget.
No, but this was 2011.
Yeah, 2011 and then in Rome as well.
Exactly, Rome was 2009.
It broke my heart. To this day, I don't know why I'm still here. I can't even think about it. But I want to see, there's so much other places here that I want to see. I want you to tell me. I've seen there's a box over there. You want to go and sit over
whatever, I can show you everything. There are 4 boxes like this one. You can see the numbers, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
Basically, it's where the streamers, we give them the right to put the game of their teams in their channel, so they can stream their games.
Okay.
And here they have like a camera webcam that they react to everything what's happening here. Yeah. So if they score a goal, they celebrate. If they lose, I mean, some of them they cry because they really.
No way, tears.
It's very important for them.
Yeah.
And everything happens in these boxes.
Yeah.
And we can go there now. I'll show you.
Let's have a little look. So, this is where the streamers are. This is where the emotion happens. Yeah. When you set this up and having this part of it, was this to engage the fans and for them to feel like, they are part of it as well?
Yeah, totally. I mean, at the end of the day, the creators of content, they have a lot of fan base, a lot of community, where they really feel that are part of the club in this case, or the team. And when the presidents, they come here, the owners, and they can watch the game live, but at the same time react to what's happening here.
Also, owners are here as well then?
Yeah, they are here. The owners are here.
So has Casillas sat here before?
Yeah. Wow. All of them. And they sit down and there is a camera there, so you can, everything what's happening on the game, they have it here in the screens.
Okay.
They have obviously his face also, and they react to what's happening to the game. And all the community, all the fans, they can watch what's happening.
So you're telling me Casillas has sat here?
Casillas, Kun Agüero.
Wow.
Everyone has sit here.
I might take this chair with me back to London.
Okay, go on.
If possible. All right, I want to sit right now.
Where?
I want to sit where you sit.
You want to feel like...
I want to feel like the president. Yeah, I want to feel like the president.
Love that.
Of
For
Kingsley.
a second, I will give you the pleasure.
Let's go. Yeah, president.
It's better this than playing, I think. Eh?
Yeah, so when you're sitting here and you're watching, how proud do you feel of what you've accomplished here?
Really, I live like every second of it. Like my life right now is focused 100% on this product and 100% of this to be a great success. So I'm not really enjoying. I mean, I'm trying to focus all the time. If something it's happening in the wrong direction, if there is a referee that made a mistake, if there is a but it's true that then I arrive at home, I watch, I mean, the repercussion and the fact that everyone is talking about it, and here in Spain and in Americas, and obviously I'm proud of that. But my idea and my goal always is trying to improve, because we believe that it's our first year and that we can do things even better.
Well, even when I'm sitting here, I feel like I've been part of this journey, and I haven't. I've only been here for a few hours and whatnot. But
no, the feeling of sitting down here, starting at 4, and to really enjoy the whole day. It's 6 hours, but a lot of things happen during that day. And as I say, we are here with different people of my team, and if something is happening, just to take care that everything is correctly done, etc.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. Kings League or La Liga?
Well, I mean, right now Kings League is our project. Is what we are dedicating all our lives. I know Liga is an incredible product, and we cannot even compare one with the other. But if you have to ask me what I watch on weekends right now, I would say Kings League.
All right, if they had to take away one of your Champions League medals, actually all of your Champions League medals, or your trophies that you won with Spain, which one would you let them take away?
Wow, that's a very tough question.
That's why this is from Rio.
Both are very important for me. I think that one of the most important ones for sure was the Champions League in Rome. Was my first Champions League with Football Club Barcelona. And then the World Cup in 2010 was also very important.
We have to pick one. They have to take away.
I would say the World Cup, because it's very unique, and in Spain we are just 23 players that have won the World Cup, so I would say World Cup.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Well, I had different phases in my life. I mean, first of all, when I started loving football, there was a player called Risto Stoichkov. He played for Barcelona. Yes. He won, I think, 1 Ballon d'Or. He was from Bulgaria, and he was an idol in football. Football, Then there was a moment in life where Ronaldo came to Barcelona to play for 1 year. And then Figo was another one that caused a huge impact in the club, although he left then for Real Madrid, and that hurt a lot. For me, it was one of the toughest. I mean, the day that he came back with Madrid to play against Barca at Camp Nou, that day, I've never seen Camp Nou so noisy, so, I mean, aggressive against a player, for sure. Then there was Ronaldinho, that changed the whole club and the history of the game. And then Leo Messi, which is the best player in history of football.
I've got one question to ask you. Scholes, Xavi, Iniesta.
Don't start with that kind of...
I have to. This is from the man that you played with, RF5, Rio.
I mean, it's very tough. I mean, Scholes was so unique. The level of the long passes, I mean, the touch that he had was so special. And Iniesta and Xavi were different. The kind of style of play, because they were all the time controlling the game with short passes, and Iniesta had a much better 1-versus-1, and maybe he scored very important goals. That this is obviously at the end of the day, people will remember you because of that. And Xavi, the level of controlling the whole match and not losing any ball, playing in the midfield, was very, very impressive. It's impossible to choose one. Don't give me that question, because I will not answer.
You can't.
Iniesta, because he scored the World Cup winner, and I'm a World Cup champion because of that goal.
So I'm saying Iniesta. All right. I want to ask you how to describe these players with one word. Neymar.
Masia.
Messi.
The best.
Puyol.
Captain.
Pique.
That's very difficult, man. I don't know.
Kings League.
There we have it. And there we have
Someone told me.
And there we have it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one and only, the iconic, the man who's won it all in football, Gerard Pique. And thank you guys for taking your time to listen to this. But of course, guys, make sure you tune into Kings League. I'm going to be investing as well. And I'm going to be sitting here with Gerard Pique.
Co-president.
Yeah, wow. I mean, he said it. But listen, make sure you go check out Kings League. It's incredible, and it is going to be the future of the game as well. The link will be in the description. I've been Harry Pinero. This has been Gerard Pique. This has been Beyond the 90. Peace.